Well, as we mark World Hunger Day, we turn our attention to those going to bed hungry every day. Statistics South Africa says more than half of the country's population lives in poverty. Well, KFC's Add Hope initiative has raised about R500,000 in customer donations since 2009, and it feeds over 120,000 children across the country. We're joined this morning by KFC's Public Affairs Director, Thabisa Mkhwanazi, to tell us about how the campaign has grown. Thabisa, good morning. And thanks for your time this morning, and well done on growing this campaign. I think, firstly, it's obvious that South Africans have been generous.
They have been incredibly generous, and I think we've seen it grow over the last 9 years in the most incredible way. In our first year, we raised about 6.2 million in customer donations. Last year was at 49 million rands in 9 years. And I think as people learn and become more aware of the impact of hunger on children, they tend to respond really positively to it. Some of the stats that have thrown us off, but also what we've experienced being in the field over the last 9 years, is just really the impact. A lot of people understand the physical impact on a child, not the learning impact, not the social impact on children. We've gotten to know and learn that hunger affects a child far more than physically. They're not as social as other children can be because they're concerned about being hungry. They don't learn as much as they do. So when we talk about it being a nation that thrives, we cannot thrive with hungry children. They can't learn. Their creativity is affected by hunger. So as we've built all this knowledge over the last 9 years, we want to share it with people, but also continue to give people a way to give and make a difference.
Well, I suppose many people want to know, and we say broadly that you are feeding children, but many people want to know what exactly happens to that R2. It's still R2.
It is R2
that we actually give when we're buying a meal for ourselves, because I can't imagine that a child is getting a KFC meal all the time. I mean, as much as people enjoy it on a Friday afternoon, you'd imagine that something a bit more nutritious goes the kids' way.
Far more nutritious. So we work with a couple of beneficiaries. We have about 130 now, 12 national ones, and then 126 local ones that we work with. The money goes directly to them. So anything we spend on the marketing, anything we spend on kind of driving donations comes out of a different fund. It goes into a trust fund that has independent trustees on it. It's got some of our franchisees on it. Some of our leadership team members sit on that trust that then administer what happens with the funds. That money goes through to beneficiaries who specialize in feeding children nutritious meals, so the kids aren't getting KFC every day. We work with dietitians, we work with nutritionists to ensure that not only are children getting food, they're getting great quality food. One of the things we've learned is 1 in 5 children in South Africa suffer from stunting, which is a crazy statistic when you look at all the kids we have. We've got 2/3 of our population being under the age of 16. It's a crazy number to think about what the impact will be in the next generation, but also for our continent and our nation. So we focus a lot on good, nutritious meals, meals that sustain them throughout the day, meals that really drive the right body development within them.
So how do you identify the recipients of these meals or these donations? Who are these children? Where are they from? And how do you sort of know who are the deserving cases?
So we work with national beneficiaries, like I've said, the big guys who are around every province of the country. So examples are people like JAM, Africa Tikkun, some big organizations that are big global organizations. Then you also have a system where people can apply. If you run one ECD center and you've got 60 to 80 children that you're feeding and providing nutrition for every day, you can apply directly to us. We then assess you. We do a bit of an audit to make sure that the R2 goes from restaurant directly into a child's mouth. We then partner with those smaller beneficiary partners to build their capability to continue to uplift not just the children but the owners of the ECDs too.
All right, so that's one way, and that's for KFC lovers. That's for those who do indulge at least once a week. But what about those who are a bit more health conscious but still want to get involved and help you in some way? How do other South Africans get involved?
So they definitely can. Because we created it as a till point, you can drive through a KFC store any day and just
buy water. And then
you don't need to buy anything. You could literally walk in and go, I'd love to add hope. We've had some incredibly generous customers come through drive-through and add 1,000 rands hope. On a random afternoon, kind of just hearing something and thinking, hey, I want to respond to this. You can go onto our website. We have a donation page on our website if you want to connect us with that way. The big thing we always say to people is, be aware, it's happening next to you. The stats prove that it's not far away from you. Be aware, know you can make a difference. Partner with us as we make the change. It's an incredible African story for us, where we kind of bring together our footprint, our restaurants, a bit of the money that we have, but also give people an opportunity to kind of come on the journey with us to make a difference.
All right, and it's just R2. I mean, you can't even buy a bubble gum with that. So it's
no,
just
not anymore.
R2. It's so little when you actually think about it. Thank you very much for that. Well done to you again, KFC's Public Affairs Director, Thabisa Mkhwanazi, on World Hunger Day with us.